Good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible to everyone. Please give me a thumbs up in the YouTube live if I'm audible and visible to everyone. And today is an extremely exciting day. It's the eve of your CUET 2024 examination. And in order to do that, we are doing a session in order to take any doubts, any Q&A regarding the CUET 2023 paper. Okay, so CUET 2023 paper happened in two shifts, shift 1 and shift 2. Okay, if you have any doubts in any of those questions, I'll be very, very happy to take it up. And I'll also give you a sneak peek of the student portal and how the portal can give you access to all the solutions that you may be asking right now. Okay, so it's a good idea to put in your doubts in the chat box. So please put your doubts in the chat box. I'm here to listen to you. Put your doubts in the chat box. So the first doubt has already come. It is CUET 2023 question number 49. Let's take a look at that. CUET 2023 question number 49. Okay. Let's open it up. Okay. So this is a Kurno duopoly question. Let's take a look at it. Take a look at it, everyone. I hope you have already solved it. Okay, let's go ahead and solve this. CUET 2023 question number 49. An industry has two firms. They face an inverse demand function. This is the inverse demand function and a constant unit cost of 8. The Cournot duopoly equilibrium P and Q here will be what? So basically profit of the first firm is basically 200 minus 4Q1 minus 4Q2 into Q1 minus a constant unit cost of 8. So 8Q1. So differentiate 200 minus 8Q1 minus 4Q2 minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, I'll get profit of the second firm 200 minus 4Q1 minus 4Q2 into Q2 minus 8Q2. Derivative will give me 200 minus 4Q1 minus 8Q2 minus 8 is equal to 0. So the first equation basically gives me 192 is equal to 8Q1 plus 4Q2. And the second gives me 192 is equal to 4Q1 plus 8Q2. Okay. You'll solve this, you'll basically get Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to 192 divided by 12. Now 192 divided by 12 is basically 16. Okay. So Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to 16. So the Cournot duopoly equilibrium price and quantity. Capital Q is 16 plus 16, which is equal to 32. And price, it is equal to 200 minus 4Q, 4 into 32. Okay. 200 minus 32 into 4 is how much? 32 into 4 is 128. Yeah. So this gives me 72. 72 is the price, 32 is the quantity. Answer here is 2. Okay. That's the first question done. Now let's take a look at the second one that is asked. 69. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. CUET 2023 question number 69 for a random variable x, this and this. What is the value of the kurtosis? The value of the kurtosis is given by the formula m4 by m2 square. Okay. This comes out to be 3 in the case of a normal distribution. Okay. This is the formula. Okay. I hope that is fine. Gursahej, I think that's okay. So m4 by m2 square, you don't have to subtract by 3. 16 by, this is my m4, this is my m2. M4 is the fourth order central moment and M2 is the second order central moment. Okay. M2 is basically the variance. Okay. So 16 by 2 square. 4 is the answer. Answer is 1. Okay. Okay. 69 done. शिफ्ट 1 पहले करते हैं. ओके. ठीक है. शिफ्ट 2 के जो क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं वो भी देख लेते हैं. Let's go sequentially. It will be very difficult for me to keep switching between the two shifts. So shift 2 question number 60. Okay. Okay. So I'll first start off with the micro and the math and the statistics questions. The macro part, Mahima ma'am will join at 6 p.m. and we'll begin with that. Okay. So currently, let's focus on the CUET 2023 math, stat, and microeconomic problems. Shikha is asking, what is the Lorentz curve? Lorentz curve. Okay, we really will not have the time to go into the theory of the Lorentz curve and the Gini coefficient, but just to give you a very quick outlook um, about it, you have to basically draw a square. Okay, you have to draw a line of perfect equality, and the ogive, which basically measures the population percentage here. The population percentage can be divided into 20, 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100%, going from the poorest to the richest in ascending order of wealth. And this will be basically the wealth. What percentage of the wealth? 20% of the total wealth, 40% of the total wealth, 60% of the total wealth, 80% of the total wealth, and this is 100% of the total wealth. So, what percentage of the people will control what percentage of the world's wealth? Like, for example, in the world, on an average, 96% of the world's wealth is controlled by 4% of the people, and 4% of the world's wealth is controlled by 96% of the people. So here somewhere 96% will control approximately only 4%, and the remaining 4% people control 96% of the world's wealth. So there's a huge inequality. If I join all this by a curve, which is an ogive, this is called the Lorentz curve. Okay. If you are a student of EduSure, you'll get all this on the student portal. So all these solutions for the CUET 2023, if you want to search for Lorentz curve, Gini coefficient, you have a detailed video on the Lorentz curve and the Gini coefficient here as well. Okay. So if you are a student at EduSure, you would get that as an advantage. 2023 53. Okay, 53 is coming. Damayanti. 53. Again, 53 is a macro question. I'll come back to you on that. 65. Ankit Kumar is asking 65. Is it for this shift only, Ankit? 65 is something that we have done already, I think. So CUET 2023 shift 2 question number 65. Find the general solution of the differential equation this. So dx by x is equal to minus dy by y. I differentiate log x minus log y plus c. So this can be written as log of xy is equal to c, or xy is equal to some e to the power c, which is some constant capital C. So xy is equal to c is the general solution that you have for this kind of a differential equation. So that is question number 65. Okay. Akash is asking shift 1, question number 51. Okay. Shift 1, question number 51. Let's go back to that. Uh,
CUET 2023 question number 51. A kinked demand curve basically looks like this. What happens is that below a particular price, the demand exponentially increases. Okay, this basically also happens, and what happens in the model along with this is as the prices are increasing, if one of the firm is increasing the price, the other does not increase the price in order to get more of the market share. So there is a kink in the model. And as soon as I get a kink or a disruption in the model, the marginal revenue curve becomes discontinuous. That is what happens. It has nothing to do with cost. The demand has nothing to do with the cost. It has nothing to do with the supply side. Formal collusion, it's not a collusion, it's the opposite. It's a rivalry that is happening. And the price need not be above the marginal revenue. No, it has to be. It is not a perfectly comparative industry. Under monopoly and oligopoly, the price is above the marginal revenue. Okay, the answer is A only, which is what the majority of you marked. Perfect.
okay. So after this, I am getting, okay, Ankit was asking question number 65 from shift 1 itself. So let's go ahead and solve that. You can see how exhaustive the student portal is. So you'll get all the solutions here.
CUET 2023, question number 65. Which of the following points lie in the convex set of points 2, 3, 4, 1? So basically what we have to do is that we have to draw the line joining these 2 points. Whatever points lie below that line will belong to the convex set of points, and whatever points lie above the line will not belong to the convex set of points. So let's try to draw a rough figure. Okay. So now we have points 2 comma 3, which is this, and 4 comma 1, which is this. So we draw this line, and okay. Now if we look at 3.6, 1.4, now 3.6 comma 1.4 would be, we will have 3.6 somewhere over here and 1.4 somewhere over here. Okay, this is point A. And then 1.23 comma 8. So 1.2 somewhere over here, 3.8 would be above. So this is my point B. 2.4, 2.6, so 2.4 and 2.6, so somewhere over here, C. And 0.4, 4.6, so 0.4 would be here. And then we have 4.6, so this is D. So only these 2 points A and C are in the convex set of points. So A and C only. Option number 3 is the correct answer.
Okay. Question number 65 was that, although there's a small correction in 65, you can basically do the question in a more easier fashion. Let me show that to you as well. That will really help you. Um, CUET 2023 shift 1 question number 65. Okay, so let's take a look at 65. Which of the following points lie in the convex set of points 2, 3, and 4, 1? So basically, if I were to draw this, it would look like this. Two, 4, 2, 4. 2, 3 is somewhere here. 4, 1 is somewhere here. Just join it. Find the equation of the line that is joining. The equation of the line is basically, first I find out the slope, which I can do 3 minus 1 by 2 minus 4. So this is basically 2 by minus 2, which is equal to minus 1. Now y is equal to mx plus c. Just put any point. So if I put 2 and 3, I'll get c is equal to 5. So the equation of the line is basically x plus y is equal to 5. This is the equation of this line. Now, we start at 2, 3 and we end up at 4, 1. Okay. Now, 3.6 and 1.4 adding up to 5. And obviously 3.6, 1.4 will lie somewhere on the line here. That is A. 1.2, 3.8 is not lying on the line. 2.4 plus 2.6 is also lying on the line. This is also summing up to 5. 0.4 and 4.6 are also summing up to 5. So both of these are summing up to 5, but it is not lying on the line. It's lying to the left of the line. Okay. 1.2 will also lie somewhere here. Okay. Let's use a different color. It's let's erase this for better annotation. So this is somewhere, B is here and D is even to the left of that. So anything that is lying on the line or below the line will be a convex combination. Okay. So convex set, the best way is that it lies on the line. Okay. So A and C only is what ma'am said. That's a perfect answer. Okay. This is another way to take a look at it. So that was approximate. It is on the line. That is something that we had to put. Okay. So that's 65. Now question number 27 is the next one that you are asking. Let's take a look at that. So this is CUET 2023, question number 27. Statement 1. Let x1, x2 be the chosen bundle when prices are p1, p2, and let y1, y2 is some other bundle such that this is the case. So this basically means that y1, y2 is affordable when x1, x2 is chosen. So it's something like this. We have a particular budget line. Okay. And this is supposing my x, this is supposing my y. Now there are two bundles, x1, x2. x1, x2 is say a point A, and y1, y2 is a point B. So point A is chosen when point B is affordable. So x1, x2 is chosen when y1, y2 is affordable. Then if the consumer is choosing the most preferred bundle she can afford, we must have x1, x2 to be revealed preferred to y1, y2. This is correct. This is true. Because I chose A when B was affordable, so it means that A has to be revealed preferred to B. Okay. Statement 2, if one bundle is chosen when another could have been chosen, we can say that the first bundle is revealed preferred to the second. Absolutely true. If one bundle is chosen when the other could have been affordable, then obviously the first bundle will be revealed preferred to the other. So both are true. Statement 1 and 2 both are true. A is the answer. So Abhishek, your question is, if bundle A is revealed preferred over bundle B and both is on the budget line, then how are you saying that bundle A will be strictly greater than bundle B? Okay. So if I chose A in the presence of B, it means that I chose A over B. So A is preferred over B. That is what it is meaning. Okay. That greater than sign basically means that bundle A is preferred over bundle B. Okay. Um, right. Both can be on the budget line. Both can be on the budget line. It is a possibility that both are on the budget line. But A is chosen before B, so it means that A is revealed preferred. That sign is revealed preferred over B. Okay. Yashwant was asking that, can you please explain why rank is equal to minimum of m comma n? Okay. So just to share very quickly about rank of a matrix. This is an array. This is a matrix. Okay. The number of linearly independent rows or columns is always the same. So I cannot have 3 independent rows and 2 independent columns. Not possible. Okay. So the number of linearly independent rows and columns is the same. Now, if supposing the m and n is there, supposing this is 3 cross 2. Okay. So the maximum number of independent rows and columns can be maximum 2, because the number of columns can't be more than 2. So the number of independent columns hence cannot be more than 2. Hence the number of independent rows can also not be greater than 2. So maximum rank that is possible, is the minimum of 3 comma 2. That is what I mean, Yashwant. Okay. I hope that is fine. Yashwant, is that okay with you? Shift 194 is the next question that is coming in.
CUCET 2023, question number 94. Mean is given to be 60 kgs and standard deviation to be 3 kgs. So, if x is equal to 66, then z is equal to 66 minus 60 divided by 3, which is equal to 2. So, since 2 is positive, which of the areas from this gives the less than 66? It should be, since it is probability z less than 2, it is to the left of z is equal to 2. Area to the left of z is equal to 2. So option 2 is the answer.
So that's question number 94. Can you please tell me whether the beta values are scale and origin invariant? So we have to basically take a look at the definition or the formula for beta. So basically in econometrics, beta hat is equal to covariance xy by variance x. So if x and y are the two variables, both change by the same scale, or both are changing by origin, beta hat is scale and origin invariant if both x and y are changing. If only the y variable changes scale, then beta hat will be affected, because X is not changing the scale, but Y is. So basically, if Y, the new Y star is basically R into the old Y, okay? So what this will make is, this will make this come out to be R here, okay? The new Y star is R into the old Y, so this R will come here. So if only one of the variable changes, then it will affect. If both variable change, then it's not affected. Okay, I hope that is fine. Gursahej. Okay, Yashwant has understood. Very good. What about the next doubt? Let your doubts keep coming in. I can solve. And then I'll get in ma'am in order to take up the doubts. Right. Ma'am will join in about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll just give you a brief. So on CUET's eve, right after the CUET, we shall be launching. It's a soft launch. We haven't yet given all this information to anyone. You are actually getting this firsthand. So if you want the benefit of the ISI IIT examination, ISI is on the 12th of May and IIT Delhi is also conducting an examination. If you want a free demo of what you get, you basically get 20 years of ISI solutions, 20 years of the DSC solutions, which will be aiding you in the ISI entrance and the IIT entrance, and 5 years of the IIT past year questions. Okay, you get all this including doubt sessions at an introductory price of only 11,999. The offer is valid for the next week. Okay, it's basically a holy offer right after the CUET. It is only limited to 15 students. After that, the price will go up and the course may not be available. It will only be the regular Eco Topper crash course. Okay, so in case any of you want to do that, please scan the code immediately and our team shall be getting in touch with you. You have a chance to see the demo and then pick up the entire course if you want to. Okay, so that's an opportunity that each of you have. Okay, and it's only limited to 15 entries, only 15 entries, and then it will be the regular Eco Topper crash course. Okay, which is at a higher price. Okay, so great. It's coming. Great. Next doubt is shift to question number 72. Okay, hopefully you were able to take a photo of the QR code. 72 is the next one. Shift to question number 72. As you can see, the comprehensiveness of the student portal, it's extremely comprehensive, and all these solutions are all there on the portal anyway. So the doubt that has come in is CUET shift to question number 72. Just click on this and we can go into question number 72 immediately. Nisha, let's take a look at that.
CUET 2023 shift to question number 72. You are given the following data for two variables, x bar and y bar is given. Regression quotient is also given. So we have y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1, x is the line of regression. Now what are you given? Y is equal to beta naught plus 1.5x. You are asked to find beta naught. How much is it? The means lie is a point on the regression line. So 4.67 is equal to beta naught plus 1.5 into 2. Beta naught cap would be 4.67 minus 3, which is equal to 1.67. The answer is option 2.
Okay. Let's go into the next question. Anything that else is coming up? Solo ma'am is just joining in the session and she'll take care of the solo model. Okay. Today's class is restricted to the CUET 2023 paper. The mock tests are internal EduSure doubts. Let's not get into that, Yogesh. Mock test is unimportant currently. What is important is the actual examination question paper. That's the most important part currently. Okay, so I'll just sidetrack the mock test doubt. I can take it, but it doesn't make any sense currently. You have to be extremely thorough with the uh, actual paper. That's the most important thing. So I hope that you have already seen Yogesh, and the solution would have been there. It's a max utility function. So since अभी और doubts नहीं आ रहे हैं, I'll take the benefit of the doubt कि चलो ठीक है ये ले सकते हैं. Whenever we have a max utility function with us, max utility function and x and y के endowments भी 1 1 1 1 हैं in this mock. This is I think the 10th CUET mock. So there in that case the total becomes 2 2 here, right? तो 2 2 यहाँ पर ये बन रहा है. तो normally ये दोनों points become the Pareto optimal points. Yeah, that's about it. These are the 2 points. ठीक है. But Yogesh, as I said कि ये सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है that CUET एक्चुअल एग्जाम का पेपर को मास्टर करना है, फिर IGIDR को करना है. I had actually set the priority list as well. I hope that you have followed the priority list by taking a look at my video there. Okay. So ये सारे online examinations थे. I think each of you have got access to this. अभी ISI के लिए आपके पास में काफी टाइम है. So for ISI, please take the benefit of all the mock tests that are available to you. ठीक है. There are so many more. करीबन Total, there are 217 mock tests that are available. There will be more put up before the ISI IIT. So IIT के तो already बहुत सारे हैं. Anyway, digressing. CUET. CUET doubts पूछिए. You can ask CUET doubts. Different types of deficits ma'am will take up. तो अभी मैम के डाउट्स आ रहे हैं. मैम इज जस्ट joining in. थोड़ा कनेक्शन का issues है, so she'll just join in a couple of minutes. Let's just be patient. 2-3 मिनट में मैम ज्वाइन करके आपके जितने मैक्रो के डाउट्स हैं वो क्लियर कर देंगे. जब तक वो आते हैं, I'll just show the QR code again. Few of you have put it onto the team कि सर QR code दिखाइए. QR code, if you want to scan, please scan it. Some of you have been putting it in my WhatsApp and in the WhatsApp of my team that, sir, I wasn't able to see the QR code. Please show the QR code once more. So if you want to join the ISI IIT course, it's a good idea to scan the QR code and get a free demo. All right.
Hi everyone, can everyone hear me? All right, everyone. Everyone, can you hear me? All right. So, everyone, my name is Mahima Bantia, and I am here to solve your macro doubts for CUET 2023. I'm sorry for joining in a little late. So, can I please have your doubts? And I would love to solve them. All right. I have received questions from Ankit, Dhruv, and I will just open the question papers. So, CUET 2023 question paper, I shall just open. And I'm looking at shift 1 first. So it would help if we first put the shift 1 questions in the chat box so that I can solve them. And then we can put the shift 2 questions and then we could do them. Okay. All right. So the first question that I'm addressing is shift 1, question number 88. And then it is shift 1, question 27 and 53. So let's go with 27 first. This is a micro question. Did Sir not look at the micro questions? We were supposed to do the macro questions with me. I can try and solve 27 also though. All right, so 27 says this is CUET shift 1. Let x1, x2 be the chosen bundle when prices are P1, P2, and let y1, y2 is some other bundle such that P1, x1 plus P2, x2 is less than equal to P1 and P1, y1 plus P2, y2. This statement pretty much says that y1 and y2 are also affordable when x1 and x2 is chosen, right? All right, then if the consumer is choosing the most preferred bundle she can afford, we must have x1, x2 is preferred to y1, y2. So this is true because if you're choosing a bundle, that means it is the most preferred out of all the options that are available. Y1, y2 is available, but x1, x2 is chosen. So x1, x2 has to be preferred over y1, y2. Another thing in this could be the next one, x2 is indifferent between y1, y2. In case there are, let's say it's something like perfect substitutes. So you have many points which are indifferent between one another. And out of them, you just choose 1 point randomly. So, so if there is a chosen bundle and the second bundle is also affordable, and then the So, but the line here says that if the consumer is choosing the most preferred bundle. So if it is the most preferred bundle, then yes, x1, x2 has to be preferred to y1, y2. The second statement is if one bundle is chosen when another could have been chosen, we can say the first bundle is revealed preferred to the second, and that is also true. If one bundle is chosen and the other is affordable, then the first is revealed preferred to the second one. So both the statements are true. This was 27. Let's go to the next question which was asked. 53. Let's go to question number 53. All right, this is also a micro question. A consumer has a demand function for good X given by dP is equal to 100 minus P, where P is the price. If price of the good X is 50, the value of consumer surplus is. So consumer surplus is a simple concept. Let's look at it. We can draw the demand curve. This seems to be a demand curve, a simple demand curve. The demand curve has price on the y-axis and quantity on the x-axis. If the price of the good is 50, so let's mark the price. The price is coming out to be 50. What is the value of consumer surplus? So we need to find these two axes here. We need to find these two vertices here. So this point would come if you put Q is equal to 0. All right. So dP is equal to Q is equal to 100 minus P. So if this is equal to 0 is equal to 100 minus P, so P comes as 100. Okay, this is 100 here. What another point that we need is this point. So if you put 50 in the demand function, you shall get the value of Q that corresponds to the price of 50. So if P is 50, Q is equal to 100 minus P, which is equal to 100 minus 50, which is 50. So this point here is also 50. So what will be the consumer surplus? Consumer surplus is going to be this shaded area. Right, consumer surplus is going to be this shaded area. So that will come from the area of the triangle. All right, which is going to be equal to half base into height, which is going to be half. The base is 50 because this is 0. So 0 to 50 is 50. The height is also 50 because it's 100 minus 50. So the height is also 50. So this is going to be 2500 by 2, which is 1250. All right, now let's look at the next question. All right, the next question is question number 88. Okay, this is a maths question. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. So could I have helped you with that? I have forgotten all my maths. All right, what other doubts do we have?
Just outside the door.
Different types of deficits, okay? And then shift 1 question 87 and 89. Okay. Different types of deficits. All right. So there are 3 kinds of deficits. The first deficit is the revenue deficit. This is revenue expenditure minus revenue receipts. Because of the word deficit, I'm taking expenditure first and receipts the second. The second, it is fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit would be all expenditure minus all receipts excluding borrowings. Okay, and the third is primary deficit. Which is fiscal deficit minus interest payments. So what do the three kind of deficits show us? Revenue deficits shows that what is the deficit on your revenue account. So your regular receipts and regular payments. So this is a deficit which will reoccur every year because your expenditure is more than your revenue. So revenue would be all your tax collections and all sources of income. Expenditure is the regular expenditure that you make, like salaries of staff and whatever building expenditures that you have to make. So this is a recurring deficit which may occur every year unless you substantially increase your revenue. The other is fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit tells us that what is the deficit that is in its entirety, what is the deficit of a government. So if you don't borrow, this is the total, it tells us the total borrowing requirements of the government, because the only way to meet this deficit is to borrow, because this is all expenditure minus all receipts. So the difference can only be met by borrowings. So this shows us what is the borrowing requirements of a economy. Usually it is expressed as a percentage of GDP, right? Because it tells us what percentage of GDP do we have to borrow, all right? The third is primary deficit. Primary deficit tells us that out of this fiscal deficit, suppose our fiscal deficit is a certain number. If you subtract in interest payments, what is left? Let's say it is 0. That means all your borrowings are to pay for your previous borrowings. So all your current borrowings are to pay for your previous borrowings, because of which all your borrowings are just interest payments. So the lower the primary deficit would mean that lower is your requirement for money, but your requirement for money is only to pay the past interest that you have to pay on your past borrowings. So it tells us that what a burden your past borrowings have been, because you are borrowing more to just pay interest. So lower is the primary deficit would mean that most of your fiscal deficit is to repay the past interest that you have taken on earlier loans. All right. All right, shift 1, question 87 and 89. Let's look at that. All right, let's look at 87. So the demand for money is L is equal to 0.25y, and the supply for money is M by P is equal to 500. In this case, the LM is vertical and defined by y is equal to this, and this. Now, in this case, there is no R component, if you see. So in general, when we have a curve which does not have the R component, then what is it going to be? All right, so that means if it doesn't have an R component, that means the whole thing is only dependent on income, right? So let's see. So my demand, money demand, if it's equal to money supply, so 0.25y is equal to 500. Okay, so y is equal to 500 divided by 0.25, which is 500 into 4, which is equal to 2000. Okay, so LM is going to be only defined by y is equal to 2000. Now, if you look at the ISLM model, this is going to be R, this is y. So y is equal to 2000 is a point here. And this is going to be the LM curve. It is indifferent to R. So R could be any. It does not have a bearing on the LM curve, which is why it is vertical. So whenever there is no R in the money demand curve, my LM is going to be vertical. And in this case, it is defined at y is equal to 2000. So this is the classical LM, and it's defined by y is equal to 2000. Now let's go to question number 89. All right, question 89 says the LM curve represents locus of all those combinations of y and I which satisfy m by p Ly for given values of m and p. What is the value of dy by di? So we shall write the LM curve. We shall totally differentiate the curve. Okay, so this is a constant, so total differentiation would give me 0. This would give me L prime y dy plus L prime I di. This is the first derivative. L prime y is the first derivative. So I get minus L prime I di is equal to L prime y dy. So di by dy is equal to L prime y upon L prime I. Okay, and we are also going to have a negative sign. Okay, so this is positive, this comes here, this becomes negative, and then we take it here, so it's a negative. So L minus of L prime y upon L prime I. So that is number 3. Question 60. All right, let's do question 60. Which of the following is the principal operating instrument of monetary policy of the RBI currently? Now, the thing is that SLR and CRR are they are both the rates at which RBI mandates the government to secure some money. So these are rates which are not typically easily changed by the government. So they definitely can influence money supply, but they are not changed by the government so often. Repo rate is the rate which is the most, it's something that the Monetary Policy Committee decides often. So it's something on which a committee is set, and then that is the instrument that is changed the most often. So out of all of these, we'll choose the repo rate. So repo rate and bank rate have just a very simple difference. Repo rate is the rate at which the central bank lends money to the commercial bank, but it does so with taking some collateral from the commercial bank, which is usually government securities. And so that is why it's called repo rate, because it is the repurchase rate. So it also defines the rate at which the central bank will again sell this government security back to the commercial bank, which is why it's called the repo rate. So bank rate is also when central bank lends money to the commercial bank, but without collateral. So it is obviously the bank rate is higher than the repo rate. So typically it's the repo rate with which the central banks work. All right, Tushar, I'm not going to answer that because since I've committed to students to answer all the CUET 2023 doubts, then the class will be too long. So I'm going to just stick to the CUET 2023 paper, please. All right, if shift 1 is done, should I move on to shift 2? All right, so I'm going to open the shift 2 paper now. Shift 2 question number 60 is what I'm being asked. All right, this is shift to question number 60. Before I do this, I would like to warn that my answer does not match the answer given by the answer key. The answer key released by CUET gives out option 1 as the answer. That's not the answer that I get. So I could do how I understand it, and I can tell you the logic behind what I do. Okay. All right. Now, suppose massive capital outflows cause nominal exchange rate to depreciate by 10%. At the same time, foreign and domestic price levels rise by 5% and 20%. What will be the approximate change in real exchange rate? So we define real exchange rate as EPF by P. You could also write it as EP by PF. It's not going to change the answer. Okay. Then we take logs. So this becomes log R is equal to log EPF by P. Then we totally differentiate this. So we get 1 by R dr by dt is equal to 1 by E dE by dt plus 1 by PF dPF by dt minus 1 by P dP by dt. This is what we simplify to write R dot by R is equal to E dot by E plus PF dot by PF minus P dot by P. Okay. So R dot by R tells us the rate of change of real exchange rate. This is what we want to know. E dot by E tells us the rate of change of nominal exchange rate. Now, nominal exchange rate depreciates by 10%. Now, I would put depreciation with the positive side because depreciation means that you go from, let's say, 100 to 110. What this means is that if the dollar was valued as $1 is equal to $1 is equal to rupees 100, after depreciation, $1 is equal to rupees 110. Okay, so the value of the rupee has gone down because now you have to pay 110 to get back $1. So the value of the rupee has gone down. Now, because of this, if you numerically take out the value of depreciation, or you numerically take out what is depreciation. So depreciation would be the new value 110 minus the old value of 100 upon the old value of 100 into 100. Okay, so this is 10 by 100 into 100, which is 10%. Okay, so depreciation written in this manner comes out with a positive sign. So this is 10. Price level, domestic price level rising by 5% would come out as 5. And foreign price level, at the same time, foreign price level rises by 5% and domestic price level rises by 20%. So foreign price level is 5%, domestic price level is 20%. So we put in those values and we get the answer as -5. -5 means, and this is an approximation, this means 5% appreciation. All right, so my answer is 5% appreciation, and which is not matched by any of them. All right, shift to 53. No problem, Ankit. Let's go to 53. Consider an economy with perfect capital mobility, fixed price level, and flexible exchange rate. What will be the effect of a rise in foreign interest rate on output? So let us draw the diagram for this one. So perfect capital mobility is given by a balance of payments line, which is horizontal. And then let us draw the IS and the LM curves. All right, so we have PCM and we have flexible exchange rates. So what will be the effect of a rise in foreign interest rate? So this line has now shifted upwards. Okay, interest rate is now, this R star line has shifted upwards. Okay, so now what is going to happen? The rate of interest has, let's say that the rate of interest has increased in the foreign market. So this is the foreign rate of interest. Okay, and that is more than the domestic rate of interest. Okay, and because of perfect capital mobility, money will start moving out of the domestic economy, right? So money will move out of the domestic economy. So this pretty much means there will be massive capital outflows. Now, capital outflows cause exchange rate depreciation. So capital outflows cause exchange rate depreciation. Exchange rate depreciation causes the IS curve to shift out. Okay, so exchange rate depreciation is going to cause IS curve to shift out. And this shifting out will continue. So the IS curve, let's say initially the IS curve is here. Okay, this is the initial E naught and this is the initial Y naught. All right, so the IS curve, if it shifts a little, you see that the domestic interest rate is still lesser than the foreign interest rate. So it's not enough. This will continue till the domestic interest rate comes equal to the foreign interest rate, in which case this capital outflows would stop. So my E1 is at an output which is higher than my initial E naught. The new rate of interest is R star. Output is higher than before. So this, what will be the effect of a rise in foreign interest rate on output? So the output is going to rise. All right, any other questions, anyone? Any other questions, everyone? Most welcome, Damayanti. All right, if there is nothing else, then I'd like to close the session, and I would like to wish you all the very best from the bottom of my heart. I hope that all that you have worked for and all that you have prepared for in all this past time is worthwhile, and you're able to give a really good exam. Have confidence in yourself, have confidence in your abilities, trust God that He will do the best for you. All the best, everyone. Keep that trust in God, keep that trust in yourself. Keep calm, even if you don't know something, just lie down, put your head down, let your thoughts relax, let your mind relax, and answers will come to you. Okay. And make sure to read the question properly. Don't make silly errors, and don't do it in a hurry that you are not able to even read the question correctly, and which is why you missed you miss questions, or you miss important details in the questions because you hurry to finish the question. Don't do that. Okay. Underline the important things of a question, be calm about it, and I'm sure you'll be able to deliver your best. Okay, Mithi, what is your question? An economy can produce 10 shoes or 10 toys. Okay, so it's 10 shoes or 10 toys. Resources required to produce either or substitute between producing shoes and toys is the same. So it's 1:1, is it? Economy chooses to produce 12 shoes and 8 toys. But you said it can either produce 10 shoes or 10 toys. So the highest is 10. So how are we producing 12 shoes? So you said you can produce either 10 shoes or 10 toys. So those were the end points, right? But now you're saying you're at 12 shoes and 8 toys. So that is outside the PPF, as I can see. I'm not sure if I got the question right. But if I understand it, it must be the economy can produce 10 shoes and 10 toys, and it's a 1:1 ratio. There's some typing error. If I get it correct, then if it chooses to produce 12 shoes and 8 toys, what is the opportunity cost of 12 shoes? It should be 12 toys, because as far as I can understand, it is a 1:1 substitution ratio. So if you're producing 12 shoes, that means you're letting go of 12 toys. Okay, so that's what I understand from the question, whatever you have written. Shrishta, can you tell me is it shift 1 or shift 2? Shrishta, could you tell me, is it shift 1 or shift 2? Question 85 that you want. Shift 1. Okay. Just give me a minute. Just a second. One second. Okay, I'll just open the paper. All right, so this is see simple neoclassical solo model assumes which of these things. So Higgs neutral is some ratio of K by L needs to be the same. Harrod neutral means the technological change is labor augmenting. Okay, so this one is the answer because when we do the third case in the solo growth model, where we introduce the G term, which is the rate of growth of technology, and we make technology labor augmenting. So we write the production function as, let's say, K comma EL, where E is my labor augmenting technological change. Right, so we introduce E into the model. So this is labor augmenting. So in the solo model, we have labor augmenting technological change. Solo neutral, on the other hand, means capital augmenting technological change. So that's not something that we do. Pareto neutral, I'm not really sure what that is. So the answer out of all of this is Harrod neutral technological change. All right. Okay, Shamaita, that answers your question also. All right. So thank you again and all the very best. And I hope to see you sometime. And I hope to hear good news about many of you making it into your dream institute. All right, everyone. Thank you from me and my entire team for being here. And see you sometime. Bye-bye.